As we were saying in the previous video, a is less than 3. So I want to know what's the largest integer that I could replace a with, and that means a would have to be a 2. For 12 in a rectangle, the length is 1 less than twice the width. Remember, width is the last thing stated, so we're going to let x equal the width. And for length, we're going to let, remember when we see less than, we have to switch the order. So we're going to let 2x minus 1 equal the length. Once we have our legend, we're going to read the rest of the problem. It's saying if the perimeter of the rectangle is 52, determine the dimension. So we're trying to figure out the length and the width. So remember, perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So in the problem, they told you perimeter is 52. So I'm going to replace P with a 52. The 2 remains the same. My L gets replaced with my length, which is 2x minus 1 plus my 2 times my width, which we said was x. So from here, I want to distribute out. I'm going to bring down my 52. 2 times 2 is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. And then 2 times x is just 2x. From here, bring down my 52. Combine like terms, so my 4x and my positive 2x, which is 6x minus 2. From here, I want to add 2. 54 is equal to 6x. Divide by 6. And x is equal to 9. So again, the problem says find the dimensions. So all we know right now is that x is equal to 9. So I'm going to go back to my legend, and we said x is the width. So the width is x, which means the width is 9. The length is represented by 2x minus 1. So it's 2 times 9 minus 1. 18 minus 1 is 17. So our width is 9 and our length is 17. For here we have solve and graph the following inequality. Negative 47 is greater than 1 minus 8x, which is greater than negative 63. Remember, our main goal is to get the x by itself inside. So that means we're working with the inside expression. Our first step would be to get rid of that 1. So I'm going to subtract 1, but I have to subtract it from both sides since it is 2 different inequality statements. So negative 47 minus 1, negative 48. I still have my negative 8x. A negative 63 and a negative 1 is a negative 64. From here, again, trying to isolate the variable, which is x, so I have to get rid of that negative 8 that's being multiplied by x. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 8. Remember, when I divide by a negative, my signs switch. So right here, I'm switching my signs already. Negative 48 divided by a negative 8 is a positive 6. A negative 64 divided by a negative 8 is a positive 8. So the 2 numbers that I really do need on my number line is a 6 and an 8. So I'm just going to go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. At 6, I have an open circle because there is no line underneath my inequality. So open circle at 6, and also an open circle at 8. Remember, my end inequalities I'm shading in between because it is saying 6 is less than x, but x is also less than 8. So it's between those two. For here we have Thelma and Louise start a lawn mowing business and buy a lawnmower for $225. They plan to charge $15 to mow one lawn. What is the minimum number of lawns they need to mow if they wish to earn a profit of at least $750? Okay, so we know that they are making $15 for each lawn that they mow. So I'm just going to say X is the number of lawns that they mow. So 15 times the number of lawns they mow would represent how much money they're making. But they also had to buy a lawnmower for $225. So we're going to subtract that $225 because it costs them that much money. So let's look at this part where it says at least $750. So I'm just going to put my $750 to the right of that. And at least means we want to make $750 or more. So that means our expression, we want this number to be greater than the 750. Remember, at least means greater than or equal to symbol. So from here, I could solve the inequality by taking that 225 and adding it to my 750. So I have 15x is greater than or equal to 975. To isolate my variable, I need to divide by 15. And x is greater than or equal to 65. That means they have to mow 65 lawns to break even, and once they want to start making a profit, it has to be above 65. So if they wish to earn a profit of at least 750, it would be 65 lawns. Remember, x is greater than or equal to 65. Tamara has a cell phone plan that charges 7 cents per minute plus a monthly fee of $19. She budgets $29.50 per month for her total cell phone expenses without taxes. What is the maximum number of minutes Tamara could use her phone each month in order to stay within her budget? So for here, we're going to set up the problem similar to like we did before. We know 7 cents per minute plus her $19 fee. And we know that she only budgets $29.50. So that means the most that she could spend is $29.50. She could spend $29.50 or less than that. So from here, I want to take my 19 and subtract it from the $29.50. And then $29.50 minus 19 is $10.50. From here, we want to divide by 0.07. And x is less than or equal to 150. So that means the most amount of, what were we talking about? Minutes would be 150. And then the last problem, 16, state the given property used. So for here, I'm just going to look at the original. So 3 times x plus 2 minus 8 equals negative 11. So going from the original, I'm going to the original to the new, what do you notice is gone? Hopefully we should have seen that the parentheses disappeared, and we in fact took that 3 and multiplied to the x and to the 2, as shown in this step right here. So which property is that? That's the distributive property. And now let's look at the same thing for the next one. So look at this given one and look at the step right after. If we were to take our second step and write it right underneath, what do we notice is missing? We should notice that the person from step 1 to step 2 got rid of that -8. So how do we get rid of that -8 from one side to the other? We have to add it to the other side. And by adding it to the other side, we're using the addition property of equality. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your test.